So we're going to look at how to graph functions using the MyOpenMath feature. So the first one you're asked to graph here is f of x is equal to 5x. Now we're going to do this by hand first. I really want three key points when I'm doing these. I want to know what happens when x is equal to -1, when x is equal to 0, and when x is equal to 1. So for x is equal to -1, I replace x with -1, and then I have 5 to the -1 power, which is just 1 over 5. Now graphing that in MyOpenMath is not accurate, so we're not going to use that one to graph it. Let's go ahead and do the second value. The second one we're going to do is 5 to the 0 power. 5 to the 0 power is just equal to 1. Remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. And then the last value we have is 5 to the first power. And again, all I'm doing here is just plugging in for x. And 5 to the 1 is just 1. So I have those points. I do also want you to show you how to do this in the calculator using the table of values, just in case it's something that gets a little bit more complicated. So if you go through and put these in for the table of value features here, you want to just go ahead and hit the table button. And I want to add or edit a function, so I'm going to go ahead and hit 1. I need to go ahead and delete this out because this was what I had in here last time. Let me get rid of this. All right, so that's going to be 5, and it's going to be raised to, so I use this x to the little box, and then I use x, and that is my function. Remember to use the arrow left or right, or when you're going through and navigating these features, it will help. And when I'm done with this, I want to hit enter. G of x, we are not going to go ahead and do right now. We'll do that one next. And then we're going to use an automatic table of values setup. I'm going to change my step though to let that equal be 1, so I don't have any decimals or anything on there. It's going to fill it out automatically. And now I'm going to hit calculate or enter. So I have table of values. If you go up or down, you can see this keeps increasing quickly. And you'll again notice that there's no negative values. So to graph this in MyOpenMath, first click the button. You need 2 points for this. My first point that I want to use is 0, 1, which is right here. Now, as you move this, you'll see the graph change based upon where you want to put the other point. Well, the other point I want to do was 1 and up to 5. And that's how you go through and graph that. Let's look at the next function that I have. The next function that we have here is g of x is equal to 1/4 raised to the x power. Now with this, I still want to use the same 3 points, my x and y. I want to use -1, 0, and 1. Now, when I plug this in, again, remember, we're just plugging this in for x. So that becomes 1/4 all raised to the -1. That tells me I'm taking the reciprocal, which just becomes 4 over 1 to the +1 power, or just 4. 1/4 raised to the 0 power. Anything to the 0 power is 1. And the last one that I have here is 1/4 raised to the first power, which is just 1/4. All right, so I can go through and graph this one right now. I'm going to use click my function here. I know my first point that I want to do is 0, 1. And then the next one is going to be not 1, because 1 1/4 doesn't work so well. So I'm going to go over here to -1 and up 4. And then I'm all set. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit submit question. And you get those nice little green boxes and checks around it. So we're great with that. To finish this though, I do want to go back to our table of values to show you how to put that in 1/4 raised to the x. Let me go ahead and quit out of everything here. Quit. And clear all of this. All right, so to put this in, again, table of values, I want to enter or add the function. I want to delete what I had before. Make sure you put parentheses here. Oops, I hit that 1, 2. There we go. Delete that. Then I want to use my fraction button, and that is going to be 1/4. Arrow over, and my parentheses. Now x to the power and put in your variable. And then you're good. So now we can hit enter and go to my table of values and same table of values that I had before. Hope this is helpful. Do remember that this does change as the functions get more complicated, especially this point 0, 1. Make sure you always test that as the functions get more complicated.